Tell us about this circle.
Yeah, I used to walk in this area in the dead of winter, because right now we're about on the outer limits of the time with which you can move through here. The foliage is, as you can see, starting to appear on the bushes. You can't see where you're walking, and the briars and such are so dense that you literally have to crawl. So I was traveling in the winter, and it was it's approximately 100 yards over to my left, from my left shoulder, and it is an area that is surrounded by trees, primarily cedars, and they're fairly dense, about like here. But this is an area that is nothing but grass, about 30 feet in diameter, and not a sign of a tree anywhere in it. It is simply grass, and it has been that way as long as I can remember.
With the owner's permission, the reality team spend the night in the dark woods. They are warned that their safety is their own responsibility. An understandable warning, but disconcerting for the crew members. Nevertheless, they set up and prepare for the night, deep in the heart of the Fraser land. Shortly after dusk, the crew knows they are not alone. You know, a forest, a wooded area, that's where everything that I learned way early on, that's where it all went down.
Well, I say that we go in.
Let's do it.
Let's go in and push it out.
Okay.
Two of the team members have gone down a steep path over to the left. About a minute or two after they left, we heard it sound like some kind of large animal. Made a thumping sound, like a large foot hitting semi-wet mud. The mud over here is semi-wet. We haven't heard anything after that. We're just going to sit here very quietly and listen.
Two team members go deep within the woods and encounter an undeniable presence in the forest. Something knows. Yes.
as if it was a rather large log breaking. It was to the left of the path the other crew members took down into the rock structure area. It sounded like a large limb breaking. We hear no other movement at this time.
What's that? It's over here.
The team moves deeper into the brush in an attempt to flush out the creature.
I'm not sure what it was. It wasn't the sound of something large, but there was a sound over in this area. There's something in there. There's something right in there. In there. Listen. Hear it? Yeah. As to what it is, it's hard to say, but there is something moving in this tree line along the edge. It looks like they're hearing it over there. They're down.
The team becomes surrounded by strange activity.
This is very, very strange. It's a feeling. You can feel whatever this is. We've all had this feeling.
The team not only feels they are being watched, they begin to feel hunted.
It's moved. It's gone right down there. I can taste it.
The team encounters the presence in close proximity.
What's up?
Yeah, I can feel it right now. Right there.
Let's move into this area. It's hard to say what it is, but we've got movement to our left. The dogs all around us are starting to bark. So what did you all, what happened?
We just tracked it all the way down there and came to here.
It's f***ing with us. It's f***ing with us.
Man, did you hear that? Did you hear what they just said? Yeah. No. We've heard several noises, but it's hard to say exactly what they are. But those two noises were done by something heavy. There was a big limb that broke, and right down this path, it was like something thudded its foot into that wet sand.
It moves like a ghost. Two stones knocked together, dogs bark. Then a similar sound, way over on the other side, clack. Dogs bark.
There's multiple events going on here. I think there's multiple events going on. But I think
An area like
it's a special place.
An area like this, you know, it doesn't have a definition. This place is ancient. This place is older than time itself. And the stuff that people experience here defies any description or perception or understanding. It doesn't have a beginning or an end. It just is.
We've heard numerous sounds. Some could be natural, some we don't know. Two of the crew members went down into the wooded area. They could hear and tell that something was moving around them. It moved quickly. It came back up into this area quickly. It doesn't make sense unless you think of it as part of these woods. There's something moving in these woods. And it's unlike anything else. But whatever this is, it moves through these woods in almost a liquid form. Exactly. It moves through. It's like air. It's like air. But this is just what the witness said. This is how he described that movement. More than once.
Once again, the team can feel a presence approaching them. Suddenly, strange orbs of light begin to appear in the forest.
There's a pop over there, and then there's a pop over there, and then I see that light right there. It's coming and going, but it's there.
It's just like a light back in the woods, but it moves. Look now, it's dim. Look how dim it is now. That's what I was talking about.
Not talking.
No, it's fading.
Yeah, it's gonna move, and it's gonna pop up somewhere else.
That's right.
It's not there now. It's not there now, is it, Matt?
I'm still seeing it. I see it too. It's still right there. Look. It's brighter. Look how bright it's getting. Look at that. What is it?
Camera's playing. It's getting brighter, Philip. The
Yes.
light from the road, the blue light. It's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. Is our shape and our elemental form reappearing. It's there. It's faint, but it's still there, and I can clearly see it right there. As soon as that thing started to come back around, and we saw a light, a pinpoint light, in 1, 2, and 3 places, and it moved at least 20 feet in our line of sight. And about that time, we saw a little figure pop out and pop back in. Didn't see arms and legs.
No.
It's just a black thing.
blur that came out
Right.
and went back in. What was strange about it was at the same time we saw the lights.
That's
in
right.
the same area as the lights.
Maybe it was just a firefly, but it seemed big.
Look through there right now. Through there.
What is it? Is it something moving?
It's a light.
Yeah. Yeah. See? That's exactly right. You can't see it, but the camera picks it up. Holy
Let me see.
Look at that.
Look at that. What is that?
I don't know.
Oh,
Here, back up so
look
we
at that. There's absolutely nothing there without the...
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You guys
Still there?
You guys need to go check that out.
No. Whoa! I'm gonna walk over there.
Oh, it's like a fairy. What is this? Go. What is it? There's some heat source over there.
Can you zoom in on it? Let's go up there. Come on. What a night! I mean, just an amazing place. You know, an amazing forest, the trees, the wind, the creaking, and just everything that happened within just a few hours after the sun went down.
It was, I mean, what can you say? You can spend half your life out in the woods trying to listen and see things that just are strange in the night. We were doing it within 30 minutes. We heard sounds after
right away when we came out.
Right away.
Yeah.
Over to the left, to the right. And then as you two journeyed deeper into the area, it was like something was flushed up.
Right.
And it came up to where we were, and we heard it.
Right. And anytime we were in a location where nothing was going on, we'd come back and you guys had gone through something, and vice versa.
Exactly. Like you two would go into the woods, and then the next thing you know, Matt and I, we see a shadow move across that light. We saw that.
Yeah.
What was it?
You know, it's weird, and with those kinds of shadows, they're nondescript. You can't see clearly defined features, but there is no question that it's there. It's a void. It's black. It moves. It comes across. It blocks out light and foliage behind it.
It moved across that light between us and the light.
What about those sounds, the ones that others have heard, and we've heard that they happen around sunset? Exactly. We heard that, I think, twice.
Twice. And the dogs alerted.
The dogs went crazy. Responded. Echoing all throughout the forest. Dogs here on either side of the area.
Yeah, and that's us as a group too.
When we went down into the woods and left you two poor people behind to be attacked, we went down quite a way. We stopped a lot on the way, but as we were going down, we sort of knew that something was in the woods beside of us. Almost as if it knew we were there and it was watching. And of course,
you could feel it.
You could feel it, but also you could hear it. I closed my eyes every now and then so that I could pick the sound up, know where it is. And of course, it was following our footsteps, our footfalls. Every time we stopped, it did. And we knew it was in front of us. It started making dogs bark in the distance. It was that far away. And that's one of the unusual things about this, the speed this thing moved.
That's right. And did you see it move across before it flanked us?
Totally.
Okay.
Moved, some shadow moved across.
Way down at the bottom. Tell me if I remember this right. Because, when whatever it is, the presence is there, it's just unmistakable that you can feel it, but I could feel the thing moving as if it was air or something, such a distance, and then you recognize that it was behind us.
Yes.
In no time.
The really interesting thing for me is I came to this, as you well know, as a total skeptic. I came to this, I don't believe, I'm not a Bigfoot chaser, I'm not a ghost hunter, I'm not any of these things, I'm a skeptic.
And that's why you were specifically chosen for the mission.
Absolutely. and I go in there, and I am the one of those who starts seeing, turns the corner and sees a shadow go past, where I heard the noise.
Right.
You know,
and you're the team debunker.
I'm the debunker.
That's right. And the dogs. The dog correlation to when we would feel, you know, whatever that presence is.
And the stones.
And the stones.
Yes, you know?
Two clacks, distinct. Two stones together. Maybe they weren't stones, but they sounded like stones. Clack, reaction. A clack over here, same sound over on the other side of where we are. Dogs react, feel the presence. Amazing, you know.
And there was the other piece where we were a bit more out in the clearing back with the guys, and we all saw the lights in the clearing.
That's right.
And then
That's
me and you shoot over there. Let's see what it is. Let's go and find out. Let's get closer to this thing. And what do we see? This black shape come out and go back into the trees.
That's right.
This amorphous shape.
Right. Amorphous. Key word.
Yes.
Amorphous. You know, a lot of people have an interpretation or an expectation of what, you know, ghosts and entities and so forth look like. You don't know until you've experienced that. There is no definition. There is no standard. There is no box to put it in. Clearly.
My imagination didn't fill in and didn't make a face in the
Not at all.
Not at all. All I saw was an amorphous shape. I didn't say, here's the shoulders, here's the head, and create the whole thing with some evolutionary instinct.
Right.
I just went, there's a shape came out, and the shape went back in.
And above
light, below that light.
Yeah, amazing. And above and beyond that, we've got lights on either side, one blue light, one kind of an orange light. According to our research and the property owner, there's no houses on either side. They were fixed lights, but one of them I saw move at least a certain distance. Maybe that was me running up on it. I'm pretty sure. I kept that in mind the whole time, and I noticed it here, and then I noticed it there, and I noticed it there. Lights can be tricky, especially pinpoint lights, no doubt. But let's not discount that steam, white, oval, elliptical thing that was off the ground that we all saw.
Yes.
And it got brighter at times. It never got bright as if it was a light being turned on. But perhaps that's just not, you know, that's not a realistic expectation in any way. No. But we all saw that, and we saw it for a long time. Almost to the point where we got bored with it.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Up off the ground to top it off, you know.
As we seem to perceive this thing, or even to just let it go a little bit, something else would happen.
Right.
It was almost like quantum physics. We were almost as if we perceived that particle, it would cause a reaction.
Yeah, very interesting.
And lights, particles, amorphous shapes, etc. All of this may merge at some point. Who knows?
I mean, to go out to a place that we've never been, that has a history, and experience multiple things, it just says volumes. You know, it really does. What we should do is move to the Panther Rock.
Definitely.
And really, you know, get in there and explore that area and see what we can experience.
And tonight we take guns.
Cold steel is the recommendation.
That's right.
You know, but hey, you know, we are in the middle of nowhere. This is the wilderness. This place has been here before any human being ever stepped foot here, and you can feel that and you know that when you're out there in this place.
There was a lot of fear factor last night.
Absolutely. Shall we?
Let's do it.
Along the wilderness road they come. Behind them, the struggles of the Revolutionary War. Before them, the conquest of a wilderness. The journey is long and arduous, but it leads to a land of promise. Day after day, the party follows the unfamiliar trail.
The team decides to visit the Kentucky Library in the hopes of finding more history of paranormal activity in Anderson County. Look at this book that the librarian gave me. It's called Panther Rock. Look at this. This is amazing.
This book I'm familiar with. It was written in 1931 by Errol Bond Burr. Fantastic. It is a true glimpse into the history of Panther Rock and Anderson County. This book tells of how the settlers came in, their struggles, their loves, their romances.
It's a real piece of history, isn't it?
You're holding a real glimpse, a snapshot of a moment in time in Anderson County. This is a real treasure.
It is. It really
Holding
is.
in my hands a document like this is terrific.
It's fantastic.
It tells so much of the area. This is possibly the only copy. Here
She said it was. She actually said it was.
Right.
It's more than 70 years old now.
But this mentions mysterious things also. But there's something that we need to do.
What's that?
We need to travel to the gravesite of Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone's from Kentucky.
Daniel Boone told a tale, a story, about killing a 10-foot hairy creature that he called a Yahoo.
You're kidding.
In this book, they talk of the dark and bloody ground, old Kentuck.
Right.
Let's go see some history. Let's visit Daniel Boone's grave.
Let's go. And so the team set off in search of Daniel Boone's grave. Franklin County, 1795, taken from portions of Woodford, Mercer, and Shelby counties. Kentucky had become a state 3 years earlier with Frankfort as capital, 1792. First meeting of the legislature's second session met here in 1793. Frankfort made county seat 1795, named for Benjamin Franklin, of course one of the great leaders for independence and the creation of the United States. It's amazing stuff.
Benjamin Franklin was a very famous man.
Yeah.
But on that distant hillside
Right over here.
lies another very famous man. There lies the gravesite of Daniel Boone.
The team learned of a cave area called by the Amerindians Yahoo, which perhaps could be the precursor to the Yahoo Falls, now so famous to the state. The very place where Daniel Boone, the great frontiersman, claimed to have shot and killed a 10-foot hairy man called a Yahoo. Here we are at Daniel Boone's grave, born in 1734, died 1820, entered Basin, Kentucky 1767. Just a great man, a great explorer, and we have an opportunity to be here at his gravesite in this great state.
He's a true legend within the state. His story of killing the great, hairy, tall, wild man of the mountains, him referring to it as a Yahoo. There's even references to be found, Native American references of an Ahu. Ahu.
I believe that's what that was initially called. Yahoo.
Exactly, Ahu.
Right, and that's it. And somehow along the way, in history, it's been named Yahoo.
Exactly. Whether it was just like other interpretations, perhaps a simpler way to spell something, or just the way the people in the area would speak the language, and make the words suitable for their dialects. But what we have here is the marker of a great legend and a great man. He came to this country, he explored it, and along the way, he said he encountered a 10-foot hairy creature and that he killed it. And those tales were told around campfires for many years, and even today, they are still told. So here we are once again, just a distance from the Fraser land, at the grave of Daniel Boone, the man who allegedly killed a 10-foot hairy wild man.
The Yahoo.
The Yahoo.
Another interesting thing, just in general in the great state of Kentucky, there's just innumerable caves, Mammoth Cave being the most notable. According to record, there were 3 or 4 mummified giants, skeletal remains, 7.5 to 8 feet tall. What did you hear about that?
In a sense, this relates to several very hot topics over the years concerning giants found underground. There was even a case where a bone, a femur, was supposedly on display for others to see. The underground limestone cave systems in Kentucky are enormous. Mammoth Cave, approximately 350 miles of underground tunnel.
350 miles.
And that's just one cave system, of course. That's a cave system, but perhaps, just perhaps, it's more than a cave system. Perhaps it's a way for something that doesn't want to be seen to move from one area to the next.
And it's another interesting fact, and that is a fact in the sense that there's so much Native American activity and folklore here, and that so many of these different structures and rock groupings and walls emulate that of South America, near the cenotes and other Incan and Mayan civilizations, all centered around the cave systems or the underworld.
The underworld,
the
exactly.
other side to life and death.
And you have to remember, we are at the dark and bloody grave.
So here we are at the banks of the Salt River in Anderson County, as good a place as any to talk about just the great history, of the area and sightings over a great period of time.
Exactly.
For example, just at the library, we found out that the Chickasaw Indians, the Shawnee Indians, the Yuki, and the Cherokee, among others, are native to the state. And we found an amazing list of sightings dating back to 1894 and after.
And this is just a brief list.
It is.
Just a brief list, but they're all interesting and just shows from one end of the state to the other how many reports there are. And as we said, this is just a brief listing.
For example, May 1894, Deep Creek, not exactly here but close. 5 men encounter man-beast which raided farms and was tracked to a cave. February 1959, Covington. Motorists saw a large, hairy, 2-legged creature on a bridge. Always we seem to have these sightings where they cross roads, bridges,
and
riverbanks.
Water.
And water. Go to 62, Trimble County. 2 men saw a black 6-foot creature attacking his dogs. Have we heard that not before?
We have.
This from Daryl Gabbard and others.
Right.
62, Mount Vernon. 4 young people encountered a Sasquatch in a parked car. The creature growled ferociously, scaring them into hysterics.